how to tune a tabla in real time. So most tablas have traditional straps or nylon straps. In this case, these are nylon straps. Traditional straps will just be like the original thick leather that you see on most tablas. So a couple things to know before we begin tuning. These gattas serve as tension holders. Tabla is a tension-based instrument. It only gets sound when it is tense, right? So that being said, these blocks, they're called the gattas, are tension holders. So if I remove or change the positioning of these blocks and I go upward, I'm going to be loosening the tension. The tension is controlled with a downward motion. So right now, right away, if I loosen the gattas and bring them up, immediately you'll hear a different pitch. This is because, again, tension-based instrument, tension controlled in blocks, they go up, tension decreases, they go down, tension increases. That being said, I'm going to quickly show you from scratch how this works. So I'm going to hammer out all these blocks in real time here to show you what happens when the tension blocks on a tabla are no longer there. At this point, the tabla is at its lowest point of tension with the tension blocks, the gattas off, right? Now from this point, to reset the gattas, right? Essentially these straps are going to need to be pulled out enough, right, for a gatta to slip through. Now while this can be easy with the nylon straps, the leather straps are a little bit more difficult. We usually use a tabla tuning tool, right, which makes the job easy. In 2 steps, you're going to brace your feet on the tabla like this. I would usually put it a little higher, but for the video I'm going to keep it low. And you pull out like this, and then the gatta slips in very easy. Now if you don't have a tabla tuning tool, a hammer with the hook is the next best thing, right? It allows you to do this and then slip it in, right? Now one important thing to know is that there are different straps, right? A total of 4 straps per gatta, per tension block. Now if you look closely, you'll see that 2 straps are on, we call them outer straps because they're on the outer edge, right, over the top, and then there's inner straps. This is important to know because the inner straps hold more tension. If you see in real time, this is an outer strap pull in, right? Fairly easy, fairly responsive. The inner strap now, right? If I pull with the same amount of effort, it's not coming. I really have to pull it out a lot harder for it to come out. This is important to know because when you're putting on the gattas, the straps have to match. If you put an outside strap here and an inside strap here, the tension is going to be so unbalanced that you're not going to be able to tune it, and it's dangerous for the skin. So that being said, for the purpose of this video, we're going to put it on outer straps, which are easier to work with and can be easily done by anyone at home with a tuning tool or a tabla with hammer with the hook. Right, so in real time, I'm just going to pop them in. Right, so once you've pulled out the straps and placed this in, this is what it looks like. Now, when you're applying gattas, 4 straps typically, well, 4 straps do belong to a gatta. So in this case, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is the outer edge. So to match that, 1, 2, 3, 4, the outer edge is where we're going to put the other ones. Now I'm going to do this process all around for the other gattas as well. Now that all gattas are in, again, right, we've reset the tension to 1 strap. And as you immediately hear, without any other tune-in, it already sounds higher, right? Or at least the tension is more balanced, which we'll be able to hear very quickly in case it wasn't evident. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to lower the tension blocks, the gattas, and if you remember from earlier in this video, the lower the tension blocks are, the gattas, the more tense the tabla is. So we're going to quickly lower this by using either end of the hammer. Actually, if you're starting out, this end, if it's circular and not sharp with squares, this end is safer to use, right? Because you want to avoid points if you're not familiar with this. Okay, now in this process, right, the tension is about, well, definitely tighter than we had it. It's not as tight as it can be because you'd have to go all the way down for that, but it's tight. Now the tension blocks serve as tension holders, so we know that the general tension is now there on the tabla. Where a tuner app comes into play now, this specific tuner app gives us a visual frequency so we can see where the tabla is tuned. Right now we'll see that it's between A sharp and B. Now this particular tabla, we want to get above C sharp. So I'm going to show you in real time how we would do that. So on 1 strap right now, if I hammer the weave in up, you'll hear the tension shoot up. Now the reason this is happening is because the fine tuning and a lot of the tension is also controlled here on the gajra. Okay? Now it's a combination of putting these tension blocks down and fine-tuning the guttas. The concept remains the same. You hit downwards, it shoots up, the tension. If you hit upwards like this in a reverse fashion, the tension goes down, as opposed to up, down, right? Now, we're gonna use this. We're at B right now, as you can see, higher than B actually, but this is B on the dot. I'm gonna increase, using this concept, the entire tabla to C. So we're gonna shoot up. This is between B and C, as you can hopefully see. Right now, a trick I use, or most people use, is that when the tension seems to give way here, like you can't go too much more, bring down the guttas a little bit to give it a little extra boost, and then that should take you right over the edge to where you need to go. Now, this shot above C, which is where the other technique comes in handy, where you go upwards to bring it down. So now it's going to be like a tug and pull of up, too high, slightly down, slightly too low. And this process is called fine-tuning. It's when you want it to be perfect, as it should be. Slightly too high. Now, sometimes the planner will go to the to a different note, like you'll see sometimes C will have G. That's normal, but if you hit the frequency enough or bring it close, you'll see that it'll detect it very precisely, right? So I'm gonna get this part of the tabla to C. On the dot. Now, the thing is, since tabla is a circular instrument, the skin is circular, tension all around has to be even for it to sound precise. So if we go to this part, you'll see that this part is slightly below C, right? So now, I'm going to bring this part of the tabla slightly up, bang on C, and I'm going to do this process all around until it becomes C. So now that you understand, I'm just going to speed up this part of the video right now, and I'm going to bring it to C, and then I'll show you a final demonstration of it. Okay. So I'm very picky with the tuning. This is not perfectly tuned. However, it's tuned enough that you're in the range of perfect C. Right? Now to go over the edge, you see some places, some pieces of the tabla are much closer. To do that perfect bit of fine tuning, you're going to slightly hit it downwards to get that perfect C. That's slightly too high. So that is the concept of tuning. Right now, as you tune and as you progress with tabla, and the longer you own a tabla, the tension will actually decrease naturally over time. So then it comes to a point where, after exhausting the tension on one strap with these guttas, you now need to put it on two straps. Now there are multiple ways you can do this. You can do an inner strap and outer strap, but the easiest way, beginner friendly way, is to do it on two outer straps. So we have this outer strap, and hopefully you guys can look, before I point it out, identify the other outer strap. So it's not this, it's not this, it's this, because it's on the outer edge, or the outer side of this, right? So now, using the tabla tool or the tabla hammer, I'm gonna apply the same concept. So now we're gonna pull out this outer strap and then slide the gutta in, exactly like that, just like that. All right, so we're gonna go out and pop it in. Now I'm gonna apply this for all other 6 remaining guttas. Now that it's on 2 straps, you'll notice that even without me adjusting the fine tuning, it's already shot up to C sharp or D flat. Now, what the extra strap does is give us a whole new realm of tension to work with. Right? In this case, we knew this tabla was made for it to be higher than C sharp, which is why we're doing this. But in a normal case, once you know which pitch your tabla is tuned to, you don't want to put it on 2 straps if it's already on that pitch. The main purpose of playing around with the straps and tension is to get it to the pitch that I was intended to be at. Right? So now this one can easily go to D, even D sharp. So now using the concepts, I freshly put this on 2 straps. Now I'm going to even them out, because generally the more even the guttas are, the more even the tension is. So we get a rough feel of the tension right now, right? And now you guys saw how it worked on 1 strap. As soon as I begin tuning this down, it shoots up. So look how quickly. And remember, a little tip is to, once you feel you're exhausted here, push it a little bit more on the tension block. And it'll give you that extra tip over the edge that you're looking for. Look how quickly we went from B to D sharp. We covered B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp. 5 semitones in the span of this video, simply by using this concept. Right? Now if we hear this tabla, bang on at D sharp. And listen to the difference of how it sounds. If you can replay the point in the video where there was no tension, compared to this, it sounds like a brand new tabla. It was exactly the same, all we did was increase the tension. Right? Now that being said, for it to be perfectly tuned, you'll have to apply this concept of fine tuning all around, so no matter where I strike on the tabla, it's aligned with the intended pitch. And as I mentioned, this process is called fine tuning. And now our tabla is good to go at D sharp. As you can see, these little pieces under here. I'm going to quickly bring that up. Bring it slightly down. Right, so there you go. I know this wasn't a short video, but in a nutshell, that's how the process of tuning a tabla works.